When you think about it, 2009 seems like forever ago. But to minimum wage workers, they're still getting paid the same as 15 years back. If it had kept up with inflation, the minimum wage now would be $9.10 an hour. And a proposed raise to $12 an hour has the approval of 67% of Pennsylvanians. You heard Governor Wolf there shaming lawmakers today, but the Republicans are in charge of this in the legislature. And joining us now is the man who can help break this down, KDKA political editor John Delano, who says he kept his tie on just for us tonight. Thank you for joining me, John.
I absolutely did, Megan. It's great to be with you again, as always.
Looking good. Thanks for spending your Friday with me. And I want to kick things off with the pro argument. So why are some advocating to raise the minimum wage?
Well, you just heard one of those arguments from the governor. It's been 15 years since Pennsylvania has raised its minimum wage. And everybody, 100% of Pennsylvanians know that prices have gone up in 15 years. I doubt there's anything that hasn't gone up. So why not raise the minimum wage so that folks who are on it can survive? That's one of the arguments that they make. The inflation, the fact that it's been so long. The governor would say raising it to $12, which is what he would like to do this year, would help 1.1 million Pennsülvanians with a pay raise. Those who make between $7.25 and $12 an hour would automatically be getting a pay raise. And he said that's a good thing. And then he points out that all our neighbors around us, every single state around us, has a higher minimum wage than we do. And there you can see it on the graph. You know, he said even West Virginia pays more than Pennsylvania at $8.75, Ohio at $8.80 an hour. You go to Maryland at $11.75, you know, and then up in New York, look at New York at $12.50 an hour. So he would make the argument, and the Democrats do, that Pennsylvanians are really being encouraged to leave the state.
So who is saying they don't want to raise it, and why?
Well, the Republicans, and certainly the Republican leadership has not scheduled any votes on the minimum wage issue at all. And the basic argument there is that we don't need it. Wages are already going up. There's a desperation for workers. And so some of the major companies in particular have already raised rates to $12, $13, $14, $15 an hour. The argument is that only 0.6% of Pennsylvanians are on the minimum wage right now, that at $7.25 an hour. And they make another argument, which is that if we raise the minimum wage to the level the governor wants, 22,000 jobs will be lost. They cite economic studies saying that. So, you know, you've got pros and cons as always. And even though the vast majority of Pennsylvanians want the increase, as long as the Republicans control the legislature, we're not going to see something that the governor wants unless they cut a deal. And that's where there's always some hope. Less regulation, lower taxes for business in exchange for a higher minimum wage. Maybe.
And if that deal is not cut, do you foresee an act by the federal government?
Well, you know, Megan, that's actually a really good question, because the federal government could kind of supersede the state rules here, and they could pass a minimum wage. There is an effort to do that. I believe a bill has passed the U.S. House of Representatives. But again, in the Senate, because of the filibuster rules, the Republicans have blocked it so far. It remains to be seen whether that will continue to be blocked. I should point out there are Republicans who, you know, it's pretty hard to deny inflation and 15 years. They just don't want it to go up quite as high and quite as rapidly as Governor Wolf does.
As that $12. Well, John Delano, thank you for breaking down both sides of the issue for us tonight and for keeping your tie on. Enjoy your night.
Yeah, I'm going to take it off very soon.
And get out of that attic, okay?